Wait, there's something very weak coming through.
I'm kind of like waiting for like the big reveal of who the mentor is. I was like, oh,
yeah, because it's almost like a shadow figure. Like you know that there is somebody behind the mask, and you want to find out what the real deal is about this character, and we don't get that.
And then it's revealed, and I'm like, who?
Yeah.
Who is this?
A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away.
Hello, fellow Galactic listeners. I'm Todd Hoffman, and this is WSTR Galactic Public Access, a Star Wars podcast. Welcome to episode 45. Today, we are finally going to talk about the book Inferno Squadron. Joining the discussion with me today is Armand Haddad.
Hey.
Hey. Welcome.
I'm here.
Check us out. You're here. Check us out on social media at WSTR Media, all one word, all lowercase. We have a very special announcement. We have used SoundCloud as our host for a little bit, and now we're switching over to a new provider. It's called Libsyn. This means that it's much easier to deliver our show content to you on a wide variety of platforms, and now you can find us on wstrmedia.libsyn.com. Stay tuned for more information. So basically, the SoundCloud listeners, you will still have access to our recent few episodes as they come out, but soon we'll lose access to our back catalog. Worry not. We can find these new episodes on our other platforms or at wstrmedia.libsyn.com.
That's right.
So yeah, we're pretty excited. Yeah, it's pretty exciting stuff. It just means more like WS Tech content, right?
That's right. We finally made the jump to a better platform than SoundCloud. And yeah. All of our exclusive content is going to be on Libsyn now.
So we're excited for that. So we're slowly going to make the transition in upcoming weeks, and we'll keep you posted on upcoming episodes of what you can expect. But yeah, it's just going to allow us to go on different platforms a little bit more. So we're excited for that.
All
right. On to our main topic.
And now for our feature presentation.
So we've been teasing this for quite some time, and Armand and I finished the book a long time ago.
Yep.
And we were waiting for Aaron to finish the book, and Aaron's like, started school, and he's got homework and all this other stuff, and so he's like, all right, I'm gonna finish the book. And then he let us know like today at the day of the recording, he's like, yeah, I got so much schoolwork, I can't do it. So the show must go on. So we're waiting for him, and then now he bails on us, so
yeah. And Rutch doesn't read.
And Rutch is not a reader, so unfortunately he only reads from his phone. So
yeah. Oh
well. Here we go. So Armand and I are very excited to bring you our review of Inferno Squadron. So Inferno Squadron is a
well, wait,
prequel.
Todd, I'm gonna stop you right there.
All right, Armand, what's up?
It's actually called Inferno Squad.
Okay, thank you. You're right. You're right.
Hey,
the official title.
It's a common mistake.
Yes. Yeah. The official title is Star Wars Battlefront 2 Inferno Squad. Yes, by Christie Golden. It's published by Del Rey. It was released on July 19th, 2017 at San Diego Comic-Con. They got a limited edition cover. But the commoners, we got it on July 25th. And the timeline is basically before A New Hope-ish, kind of right around A New Hope.
Yeah, like 10 minutes before.
Yeah, it's like a quick 10 minutes before A New Hope.
Yeah. A
lot of, like, in Star Wars novels, they always use at the Battle of Yavin. So you're going to see a lot of, like, ABY. That's, what the nerds call it. So it's basically right before the Battle of Yavin.
But wait, Todd,
yes.
what's BBY?
BBY.
Yeah.
Is that before Battle of Yavin?
That makes sense to me.
Yeah. After Battle of Yavin, and BBY is before the Battle of Yavin. That's kind of like the precipice, like of this is where, everything that happens right here is before and everything after is after. So, makes sense. So, the novel focuses on members of the Inferno squad who hunt members of Saw Gerrera's, basically their little, it's like the byproduct of Saw Gerrera's little group. So obviously in Rogue One, we know Saw, he didn't make it. He said, I will run no longer. And he stopped, but his group kind of kept on going. So they were kind of the radical rebels, I guess would be the best way to describe them. Yeah. So they're still going to avenge, basically Saw and kind of keep the cause going, so. But yeah, that's kind of and again, this is a prequel to the Battlefront 2 game, which you will, in the single player mode, you will be helping Inferno Squad out. So you get to play these characters that we're going to talk about. So here's a little, this is the publisher summary of the Inferno Squad. So Rebellion may have heroes like Jyn Erso and Luke Skywalker, but the Empire has Inferno Squad. After the humiliating threat of the Death Star plans and the resulting destruction of the battle station, the Empire is on the defensive. In response to the stunning defeat, the Imperial Navy has authorized the formation of an elite team of soldiers known as Inferno Squad. Their mission, infiltrate and eliminate the remnants of Saw Gerrera's, how do you say that word? Partisans? Partisans. Thank you. See, my English is not very good. So following the death of their leader, the partisans have carried on his extremist legal legacy, determined to thwart the Empire, no matter what the cost. Now, Inferno Squad must prove their status as the best of the best, take down the partisans from within. But as the danger intensifies and the threat of discovery grows, how far will Inferno Squad go to ensure the safety of the Empire? So, Armand, that's the publisher's summary. So, Armand, before we get into the meat and potatoes, let's do a little spoiler-free overall impressions of what you thought the book was about. What you like about the book, or what was your impressions about the book, Armand?
What I liked about the book was we saw a different view of the Star Wars universe, because until this book came out, everything was through the eyes of the rebellion, through the eyes of the heroes of the Rebel Alliance. But now we see, quote unquote, heroes of the Empire, the best of the best.
Best of the best.
And it's definitely a different world. You're definitely seeing, this galaxy through a fresh pair of eyes, through an imperial set of eyes.
Yeah.
And I think, Iden Versio is definitely not like Jyn Erso at all. I would say she's almost the opposite of Jyn Erso.
Yeah, like
Jin's very like
the antithesis, basically. Yes.
Pretty much, yeah. Iden is the antithesis of Jyn, because Jyn is very like, rebellions are built on hope, and Iden is very like structured, cold, calculating, like we have to do this for the love of the Empire, and pleasing her father, who is an admiral.
Admiral Garrick, Versio.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, Todd, what were your overall impressions?
I'm on board with you as far as just like seeing a different perspective, which is always good, because a lot of the canon books and obviously old and new, but the new canon, we're still kind of seeing through heroes' eyes, and the protagonist is usually from the rebellion perspective. But this is really even the Tarkin book, which is a great read. I would highly recommend it. That's good, but it's still kind of almost like a neutral tone. even though they're talking about, Tarkin a lot, it's still kind of neutral. This one, we're really getting like what it means to be an Imperial soldier who's part of the army, and we get it to see. I really think Christie Golden does a good job of just like, this is their perspective, and it makes it, like, again, they're not bad guys. I'm doing air quotes. It's not like bad guys, but they like that. Versio is like really into order and structure, like you just said, and I think it's really cool to kind of see it from that perspective, and it definitely, I feel like this book opened up that side and put a little bit more human feel to the Empire than just like, oh, they're bad and they're the worst people in the world. I really did like that from the book.
Yeah. And to build on what you just said, I mean, the opening chapters, in my opinion, are phenomenally written, and we do see a human side of the Empire in the form of the pilots flying around the Death Star during the attack.
Yeah. Which is where you get the 0 ABY. So it's like right before it's happening, like the book opens up at the Battle of Yavin. So I thought that, really good.
Yeah.
So I think that's spoiler free. So if you've not read the books, wait. Yeah.
Before we get into Spoiler Town.
Yeah, Spoiler Town.
Would you recommend reading this book again? Would you recommend it for more seasoned Star Wars people or more green, brand new people to the franchise?
I think this book, if you're going to play Battlefront 2, which is coming out in November, I think this is a good read, because I think it's going to help, I think just provide a little bit more I guess, substance to what you're going to see in the single player. And so I think that's going to be really cool from what you read to how that translates in the game. And I am excited to see how that single player story takes off and how that excels this. So I might have a different opinion about this book afterwards when, Battlefront 2 comes out. But overall, it's a little bit below the middle for me on this one. I don't know if we have a 5-star rating or whatever, but I would give it maybe like 2.5 stars.
Oh, dang. Okay.
Yeah. Cause I really liked, like I said earlier, the Imperial View. Love that. The opening chapters are amazing. And I just felt like the book fell off after that. That's okay. Yeah, I'm just going to leave it at that for right now. But I would say if you're going to play the game, I think this is a really good book. And obviously, if you're a Star Wars reader, this is not a bad read. But I think it's written really well. I just felt like the story dragged a little bit for me after a couple chapters. But okay. So that's why I'm going to say like 2.5 stars because yeah. How about you? How about you? How about you, my friend?
I'll expand on this in the spoiler section, but I would not recommend this book.
Okay. All right.
If I were to give it stars, rating, yes. I would give it 1 star.
Oof. It's painful.
Yeah. It's not completely bad in my book.
Yeah.
There are some redeeming qualities, like the ones I just said.
But the points you just made, yes.
But yeah, there's a lot in the book that I don't like, and I don't really particularly. I'm not a big fan of Christie's writing style for Inferno Squad. But there's better Star Wars books.
Yes.
We just read Thrawn.
Yes.
As a podcast, and that was a phenomenal book. I loved that book.
Yes.
So if you want a good new canon book,
check us. I would say check out episode 25 where we review the Thrawn book. So, But yeah, that's an excellent read. Have you read the Aftermath series? No, or yes or no?
No,
Okay.
because from what I heard, they're not the best books.
Dude, the writing is like Chuck's writing. I don't know. For me, it was like it was painfully brutal, especially the first book. But I felt like it got some legs, and like by the third book, it's like okay, it's not bad. But
okay,
I felt like you know, Christie Golden, you said, you know, you didn't like the writing style. I would even say Chuck's is worse, but this, I mean, I felt she did a really good job, you know, getting into the character's head space a little bit, but I understand, again, like my main complaint is I felt like the story itself just like, you know, like just fell off the rails like real quick. So, all right, why don't we, okay. So 1 star for Armand, 2.5 for myself. So why don't we get into kind of, you know, let's kind of, if you haven't read the book, put this podcast on pause, come back and, you know, here we go with some spoiler, you know, we'll just go through some of the major plot points in the book. So, as we discussed before, the opening chapter is basically, you know, we meet Idian Verso, and she is a TIE fighter pilot, and she is chasing X-Wings, and she's in the heat of the moment on the Death Star, and it blows up.
Yeah.
Yeah, newsflash, it blows up, and she's kind of like obviously taken back, and she's far enough away from the blast that she miraculously survives, and you know, they pick her up or whatever. But her dad is like an admiral in the Imperial Navy, and basically is trying to you know, start up an elite squad to find out, you know, a little bit more about like who the rebels are and what the rebellion is, and trying to get to the source of all this stuff, you know. So we get to, yeah. So I think that's kind of the first kind of chapters.
Yeah, you know, the big takeaway for the first few chapters is I love the reveal. Like you said, like Christie can write good headspace, and you know, really we're like in the character's head. Yeah. And pretty much the sequence where the battle's going on, where she's trying to fight these rebels attacking the space station, and then she chases, I believe, a Y-wing from the station, and then there's an explosion. Right. And I loved how she first thought it was Yavin 4 blowing up, and then she quickly, well, not quickly, but over time, she realizes, like, the debris that I'm trying to get away from are metal. Yeah. It's not rock. And the Death Star blew up, and how could the Death Star blow up? And and I was like, wow, this is incredible. Like, pretty much her whole sense of reality is just being shattered, and like, and there's some great pride with it. You know what I'm saying? Like she's proud to be part of the Empire, you know, and right, it's the realization, like, oh wait, that's not rock, that's metal, and like, again, there's an exorbitant amount of people on the Death Star that, you know, she might have not known, but those are still some of her friends, obviously, or, you know, peers on the Death Star that are not there. And then and then she was saying like the Empire lost because of the people who was on there, like Grand Moff Tarkin, Colonel Yularen, and it just got vaporized. All those high-ranking people.
There was quite a few people at the round table there, you know, that, you know, and what, you know, and Tarkin's like, you know, evacuate in this moment of triumph. It's like, no way, dude. You know, it's like they ain't gonna beat me, you know. So yeah, but
famous last words.
Bye, you know. So her father basically develops a crack team, and there's another guy named Gideon Hask who's another kind of elite TIE fighter pilot. And then you have a tech. You want to say Sean or Marana? I don't know.
No, his name is Del Miko.
Well, Del Miko is the like repairs tech guy. He's like he's got all the girl.
Talking about the girl?
The girl that has the eidetic memory, like she can memorize. She sees things.
Oh yeah.
Her
name is Sen.
Sen. Okay, Sen. So you have Sen, Gideon, and Del, who and then Versero. Is it Iden? Iden?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. So Iden is the commanding officer, and because like I make up names in my head, and sometimes when I say them out loud, it's like it doesn't sound right. So I just want to make sure. Star Wars names are a little tricky. So sometimes when you say them out loud, it's like, I don't know if that sounds right. But
Jetster Dexter.
Yeah. Right, exactly. So Iden is Garrick is Iden's father, or Garrick is Iden's daughter, basically. So, wait.
Wait. You swapped it.
I swapped it. Garrick is the father of Iden. There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's kind of he's strictly, and you see him, those are the two you see in the trailer of, if you've seen the Battlefront 2 trailer, that just came out, those are the two, he's like the, Emperor has plans and blah, blah, blah. That's Garrick. So, he's straight to the nose, very Imperial, treats his daughter as an officer and not as like a daughter. And there is definitely some daddy issues, which, I think Golden does a good job of just like, really getting into her head and just, understanding like the role of the Empire. And then also, but there's definitely some issues with, her dad and just being what that is in the whole scheme of the Empire, But now they get the crack team. And really after this, I really like that first, they kind of go on their first mission, after we get to introduce by all the characters, kind of set everything up. Then, they're basically after, Dirty Imperial, really, I guess would be, yeah. And so they kind of do almost like I would say almost like an Ocean's 11 kind of, not like a heist, but they got to go in and, infiltrate
the dinner party.
Yeah. The dinner party. Yeah.
That was a good sequence.
Yeah. It was super well written. I thought it was cool. I really could see, everything kind of play out and kind of, as the team kind of gels and stuff like that. So I thought that was good. And that for me is where, after that, I feel like that's where the book just kind of went downhill for me. So
me too.
Yeah, right? I just felt like it's, I really like the pacing and the tension that she's building in that kind of, getting to, finding out the corruption in this, what this Imperial officer is in. And I really liked that tension. I really thought it was well built and well written. But then after that, man, I don't know. It just,
I don't know. It's like the writer forgot there's more chapters to do.
Right.
Okay. Got 5 down.
Yeah.
I gotta do 20 more.
Well, I feel like, it's such a great pitch. It really is. Like, this book is a great pitch. Like, hey, we really need to see from the eyes of an Imperial. And, and they're not all bad, like, and I feel like it's a great pitch. But, dude, after they get that corrupt Moff, I'm just like, what is happening? So after that, basically what happens is that they're trying to, they file some breadcrumbs and try to find this, Saw Gerrera's group, and they want to get into Saw Gerrera's group to find out, like, who's feeding who? Like, is there It really felt like too. She's kind of explaining like, is who's feeding the information to Saw Gerrera's group, because it always feels like Saw, their group always has a little bit edge on the Empire, and they're trying to see like, is there somebody corrupt in there, or like where is this information leak? And that's what really the task is for Inferno Squad to get to the bottom of it and infiltrate this group and figure out, is there a mole? Is there somebody, feeding them information? And let's not only take out this little cell group of the rebels, but also find out, the source of if anyone's feeding their information.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, man. It's just, I think what I have a problem with is like, I don't know if it was, I just felt like they almost got too friendly with their group. I don't know. What do you
mean?
I just felt like they were too friendly with the rebels. Like I felt like they were just too, Sen gets kind of, like almost boyfriend-girlfriend relationship with one of the rebel guys, and I didn't like how like they were undercover, but they almost like went way to the other side where they're almost like in line with the rebels, and I don't know if I really bought all that, because they're the Empire. They're like I don't know if like they were rubbing off on them, or I don't know. What did you think about that, Armand?
Oh, maybe Sen was rubbing. Okay, I'm being stupid.
You're being silly. You're silly.
So I mean, honestly, yeah. I mean, I forget, because we read the book so long ago, and some people
couldn't keep up with us. I know.
Yeah, I think we finished it around the same time.
Yes, yes, we did. We were almost having a race.
Couple weeks.
Like, you're like, I'm on chapter 15. I'm like, and then Rutch is always like, oh, he's beating you, and I'm just like, what? It's not a race, guys. It's not a race. And then we put it, we put it on the back burner, and we're like, Aaron, you got to finish this book, and so
yeah. So I don't really remember exactly how they got connected with, because so for those who read the book, those who haven't read the book, that just want to dive into spoiler town. Right, what I didn't like about Inferno Squad is that they shoehorned a lot of stuff from Rogue One into Inferno Squad, like during Battle of Yavin, like, oh, they're because of Galen Erso, and I'm like, oh, I gotta be kidding. Okay. And then Saw Gerrera, I'm like,
plug.
So with this group, they retconned Saw Gerrera's extremists to call them the Partisans, and then apparently they all got blown up on Jeddah. So then the remnants of his partisans are called the Dreamers.
Yes.
So the Dreamers, led by some dude called the Mentor.
Yeah.
So it was
very scary, very scary names, right?
Yeah. So I'm like, what is this, like a hippie commune or something?
Right.
So yeah, they infiltrated. I forget how, but they do, and I felt like, I don't know, they were like too quick to trust, and then after they realize that Iden Versio is who she is, daughter of a Imperial Admiral,
right?
They're like, well, okay, wow, she defected.
Right. And they basically use her as like the spokesperson for their group, the Dreamers, and she's like denouncing the Empire on almost like, I would say, like, lack of a better word, like almost like a terrorist, like you would see like a terrorist, like handy cam, like they have her prisoner, but she's making a declaration, putting on the HoloNet and basically saying, I am, I was a hero of the Empire, but now I'm followed the Dreamers, and, and technically that was part of the plan, you know, and and they kind of go through like how difficult that was for her to do that, but then she's playing the part and it's like no big deal. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you were part of the Empire, and your daddy's an admiral, but like you said, it's just like, oh, you're good. We don't have to check you. And your buddies are good too,
Yeah, I was expecting the Borg Gullet to come out. And...
No, unfortunately, Borg Gullet got blown up on Jeddah, so they couldn't bring him along. And there's, I guess, apparently no other species, his species has died on Jeddah or something.
Right, yeah.
Borg Gullet, you will tell the truth. You will make you tell the truth.
Yeah, they didn't interrogate her.
No,
Just
right.
Oh, okay, sounds good. That checks out.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I felt like that's like, to me, that's like almost like as a reader, I understand like in a movie, that's part of the difference between obviously going to a movie and reading a book is that, there's, in a movie, you got to cut some corners and you're not going to explain everything in detail. But I feel like in a book, you have the liberty to say a little bit more on almost everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no limitation of, and I that's where I'm getting stuck on some of these, like, well, wait a minute, they didn't interrogate her or the other group or any of her little party that just kind of randomly show up at this planet that they're on, I was like, yeah, come on. And like you said, like all the exclusive plugs about Rogue One. Yes, we know it's Galen. And yes, we know Saw Gerrera. Like, I don't know. It was almost like, go see Rogue One, Yeah,
it's like, it's not like this book was like dense, like, oh, she didn't have time to write an interrogation scene or anything like that. This book was like spread thin.
Right.
There's totally enough room to like, okay, let's flesh out these scenes so we don't have to like have chapters where nothing happens or barely anything happens. And it's like 20 pages of, oh, they just did one thing. Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
Or it was just a super long conversation. It's just like the prequels where like, oh, they're sitting on couches again. Oh, and they're talking and sitting on couches. It's like, instead of telling me, why don't you just show it?
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
They should have structured the book like in the beginning, it was like the academy.
Okay.
Training. She meets these people.
Right.
Like who ended up being in Inferno Squad.
Right.
And then Battle of Yavin.
Okay.
And then form the team. And then the first mission, which is the espionage at the dinner party.
Yes.
And then the final chapters
is infiltrating that
taking
cell.
Down the Dreamer.
Yeah. Right.
Duh. But no, just skip that first part. So
right. Well, that I think that's the other thing I struggled with, Armand, is like, why are they the best of the best? Like, I don't think
because we're told they are.
Right. But I feel like I'm totally with you on that. Like, maybe show something in the beginning of the training, like how elite these people are, like Del fixing stuff or whatever. I mean, he's like a stormtrooper that turns into a techie guy. Like give me some.
Yeah.
It's all kind of blazed over real quick, and you're just assuming, oh, they're Inferno Squad, and Daddy picked them, so they're all good. Like I don't get that part, and I feel like that it's just glossed over again, and I feel like that's lost in this book.
Yeah. And the impression that I get, which was the impression I had throughout the entire book, was the Inferno Squad, they're cardboard cutouts. They had like no personality. They didn't really give anything to the plot. To me, they had no arc. Only one of them had an arc, and that was Sen.
Yeah.
Like she actually displayed her skills, and she actually had something going on. And since we're in Spoiler Town, she fell in love with one of the Dreamers.
Yes.
And the one thing besides the whole dinner scene, like later on in the book, because
the factory.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love
the
that.
Dreamers are.
Yes.
Yeah. the Dreamers are straight up terrorists. They're like, oh, we have to.
They are. Yes.
We have to kill these Imperial recruit kids because they're gonna grow up to be stormtroopers one day. It's like, whoa, wait a minute. Let's not do that.
Right. Slow your roll.
And I know it's like a reflection because when Iden was in the academy, she was taught we have to kill the rebel like children because they would become like starfighter pilots later on and this and that. It's like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, with the factory scene,
which was I really loved that scene. It was well written, and so
yeah, it was great.
Yeah, so
I felt something.
They're getting they infiltrate, and there's kids there, and basically she's having second thoughts about this. Like, this is not good, and I don't want to do this, and these are like my people, And so there's great emotional weight. And
conflict.
Thank you. There's conflict. Like, I know this is my job, but this is also, these are my people. And now I'm trying to blow them up, does not compute, and, so she botches the explosion.
Yeah. She puts, instead of like a 5-minute delay, it was 15 minutes.
Yes.
Which is plenty of time for everyone to get out.
Right.
But not enough time to blow up because whatever his name is was like, I have to go. And she was like, no. And then they kiss.
Sorty or Sad Rory or something like that.
Something like that. And then he runs in and then blows up. And it's like...
He does a suicide bomb, basically. That's what he does. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. And... the thing with her is that she has eidetic memory, which was, obviously established earlier, and she remembers the whole thing.
Yeah. She has to live with that. Yeah. So, after that comes, after she comes back, she's just like, blow it off. Like, no big deal. But then it kind of hits like, I didn't that like, oh yeah, you can't blow it off. You're going to see that forever. And basically so she's bonded with this boy and his parents are there too. And so they're kind of mourning together. And this is when she slips because she understands like a bazillion languages and they're talking in her native tongue. And you said you didn't know. Well, yeah, and then and eventually she dies because of that.
Yeah, but again, she had an arc, and yeah,
there was change over time.
Right, these other two dudes, no arc, like nothing.
No, they just stayed the same, and then Iden, the main character, did not change throughout the entire book. I mean, she kind of did at the end, barely. Like, she shoots the mentor.
Yeah. He gone.
Boom. Takes his data chip or whatever and then goes off.
Yeah.
But then he wakes up. Oh, he was stunned.
Oh.
But his entire Dreamer squad is dead.
Yeah.
Because the two dudes killed everybody.
Correct. And she was kind of hesitant of why they killed him, but that was the job. I mean, that's the job. That's part of the job. And that's what I'm saying. She gets soft. I'm like, well, why, why are they all mushy-gushy with these people? I only met them. They just met them. And
yeah,
that's where it lost me, man. And that whole Dell, what's his name? Pico
the robot?
Yeah, Pico and that little alien guy, and they go find these rock robot people, and
yeah,
nothing
happened with that. I was like, where is this?
Yeah, where is this going? Like I thought, okay, I was losing interest fast, and the only thing that was keeping me going was you trying to beat me on the book. So I'm like, I got to finish this book, and but I was like, oh,
I was gagging down the book. Yeah. I was like, I was hate reading it. I was like, this piece of crap book.
I'm gonna finish it. Yeah, it's just it didn't go anywhere. It really didn't. And I was like, again, I feel like that was another lost opportunity, So yeah, so there's that. But I agree, the factory scene is the only saving grace in the third act of this book. And yeah. So she reports back to Daddy, and they're gonna see another day, and I don't know.
Then she finds out her mom passed away
because that was the other thing. I mean, and there was a little emotional thing. She, her mom disowned her because she went on, the HoloNet or the TV and basically said, "Hey, I love the rebellion," and but her dad actually did something soft and basically said, "Oh, this was a cover," before she died, and so
yep. He had an arc, or maybe because he was like, "You're not my daughter. You're just another soldier." Blah blah blah
blah blah blah.
And then at the very end, I told your mother that it was just a cover. I have a heart.
Now get back to work. Get back to work. All right.
And then I closed it, and I was like, "Screw this book." Okay, I'm going to be honest with you.
Yes, I love honesty. Yes, please.
That book was so bad. Like, it straight up turned me off of like all the new Star Wars books.
Oh no! Wow.
I'm like, forget. Like, okay, what I don't understand is like the whole Star Wars franchise and Disney. Disney is obviously, or Lucasfilm. They're hiring these authors.
Yes.
With all the money they have and with the Star Wars name, and they hand pick all the authors,
and they have a story group, and they have a story group. Yeah.
Why don't they pick better authors?
Here's an idea.
They have Timothy Zahn.
Here's an idea.
Why don't you get I don't know, Stephen King to write a book?
Yeah.
Why don't you get
Michael Crichton or whatever?
Yes.
Try to think of
Alan Dean or Dean Coons or whatever his name is.
Right. Oh God, what's that guy's name?
Tom Clancy.
Yeah. I mean, come on, let's do a Rainbow Six, Inferno Squad, or something like that.
That would have been 100 times better.
Yeah. Here's an idea. Good. I mean, they have grabbed some authors that have wrote in the Legends, in the Legend series. So people that are familiar with, Star Wars lore, and establishing that new canon, which is great. But Chuck Wendig or Wendig or whatever that wrote the Aftermath series, dude, that's so hard to read. It comes around in the end, but like you said, it's like, why are you picking these guys? I don't know. Like you said, they're the pocketbook of Disney and Lucasfilm is huge. Huge. I mean, shoot, they reshot Han Solo twice.
Better authors, Disney.
Yeah, get better. Here's a tip: get better authors. So, yeah, I think there you have it, folks. It's I'm hesitant. I'll just, like I said earlier, as just I think, understanding these characters, I think will help the single player of Battlefront 2. But other than that, it's a hard read, man. It's a real hard read. So here's one way to improve it.
Okay. So Iden would have an arc.
Okay.
Maybe she joins the rebellion at the end. Oh, wow. She becomes sympathetic to the rebellion and then joins them.
Yeah.
I kind of figured that was going to happen, and then it didn't. And I was like, oh, what was the point? What's the point of this book? Nothing happened.
Right. I think, again, this kind of gets into the Rogue One thing. we understand these characters are not going to last through the movie, but like at least build some kind of character arc, that gives them a little bit more meat, So I just feel like that this book fell into that trap too. So,
and then another thing about the mentor.
Yes. Okay.
So the mentor, he was a character from a different Star Wars book, but reading that, I didn't know. So yeah, Lux was in Rebel Rising, and reading this book, I didn't know that. So I'm kind of like waiting for like the big reveal of who the mentor is. I was like, oh,
yeah, it's because it's almost like a shadow figure. Like that there is somebody behind the mask, and you want to find out what the real deal is about this character, and we don't get that.
And then it's revealed, and I'm like, who?
Yeah.
Who is this? And here's a problem with this like expanded universe that Star Wars is creating again.
Okay.
Because I didn't know he was in Rebel Rising, and the only way for me to know that was to read that book. And it's like, why don't I just get one contained story and not like breadcrumbs of this larger story? Because it's like, it's going to affect the story. And we saw it with this book. Like, it was kind of like a footnote. It was a footnote of Rogue One, and it was kind of like a prologue to Battlefront 2.
Right.
It's like,
yeah,
I want like a story,
a self-contained,
that stands on its own.
Yeah.
Stands on its own 2 feet.
Right.
Yeah,
oh boy. Okay, so 1 star for you, 2.5 for me. So
2 stars, average.
Yeah. There you have it, folks. So
buy your copy today.
Right. At all your
local
bookstore or wherever you can find books online.
Or go to Audible and get the audiobook.
Right.
That is voiced by the voice actor for Iden Versio, and her name is
Janina Gavanarka. Dude, I'm so
Janina Gavankar.
Thank you.
Who voices Iden Versio.
Yes, she does the audio.
See her in Battlefront 2.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And you're going to see her in Battlefront 2 coming out in November. So there you have it, folks. That's our review. Maybe we'll have like Aaron like put in his little like, I give it 4 stars.
This book was amazing.
It was amazing. I don't care what these guys said, So he can hijack that, but yeah. So
well, I will say that I think I talked to Aaron about it once off the podcast, and I was like, "Oh, what do you think about Inferno Squad?" He's like, "Well, I'm waiting for something to happen." I'm like,
and you're like,
well,
you're gonna keep on waiting, dude.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, exactly. All right, there you have it, guys. All right, moving on to news of the week.
And now, the Star Wars News of the Week.
So, when Star Wars Force Awakens hit the theaters in December 2015, it shattered tons of box office records and ended up making, $247 million in the first weekend, and then came in at $2 billion at worldwide box office. So, recently, Box Office Pro currently has The Last Jedi box office predictions to be roughly around 215 million. So that could be the second highest opening weekend of all time, just behind Force Awakens. So Armand, do you think it will take over the Force Awakens local, which was like $936 million? Do you think Last Jedi has the legs to do that?
I don't think so, because Episode 7 was Episode 7.
Yeah.
So there's a huge gap between Episode 6 and Episode 7, and I haven't seen a Star Wars film in like 10 years prior to
yeah.
episode 7. So it was like this big hype train of Star Wars coming back.
Yeah.
So, and then, you know, there's a lot of people that were disappointed, a lot of people that liked it.
Yeah.
So I think with episode 8, well, and another thing with episode 7,
yes,
people didn't know what to expect.
Right.
So it's like, ooh, what's going to happen?
Yeah.
Let's go see it.
Right.
And with episode 8, it's like we kind of have an idea what's going to happen. So I mean, it's going to perform well, but I don't think it's going to be Force Awakens huge.
Yeah, because I think you're absolutely right. There was a huge casual fan base that like, I'm going to go see this. But the only thing I could say, if the story is super strong, it could drive that, you know, you might see like not as strong opening weekend. You know, you have your core fans, obviously, that are Star Wars fans. And but then if there's enough movement that the story's super strong, then maybe it could have some legs to match that, you know. And again, overseas, it killed overseas, you know, and I think it will do. I think Last Jedi will have the same effect. You know, I think it will be. I don't know domestically if it can make that 936, but it could be interesting. I mean, it just depends, you know. Like you said, I think really it's that lag. You know, you had a 10-year wait period. It's like, okay, finally here, you know. So,
yeah.
All right, I'm super excited because, you know, like in some news, it's like you either have an Ohio resident or a Florida resident, and you have to kind of figure out like, is this from Ohio or is this like somebody in Florida, you know? So
Florida man or Ohio man.
right. So I'm happy to present WSTR. We have Ohio man. Yeah. So Ohio man built a 2-story Star Wars inspired Halloween display in his front yard. And
dang.
Yes. So Nick Meyer built a gigantic all-terrain armored transport, either AT-AT or AT-AT, in his front yard. So, So he built it, you know, based off a model that he had, and it is literally as big as his house. So,
that's crazy.
Yeah, he started building the display in April, and it took him around 6 months to finish. And he put it up last weekend for Halloween. How fantastic is that?
That's pretty fantastic. Is it even made of Durasteel?
I don't know if it's made of Durasteel, but that would be fantastic if it was like this huge steel structure. I'll definitely put it on our Facebook page. It looks pretty legit. I mean, it's not like it's just, I mean, it's almost to scale, but it is as big as his house, and it's right in his front yard. So you can't beat that, you know? So I was like, right. But when I saw Armand, I was so happy when it said Ohio man. I'm like, yes. You know, what did he do? What did he do? So, yeah. So kudos to Mr. Nick Meyer there. So that's fantastic.
I wonder if he's going to take it down or just leave it up.
He's just going to leave it up. I mean, obviously you can decorate the AT-AT or the AT-AT in many different seasons, you know. But, I mean, you know, winter is coming, so I think he should leave it up for an epic, like, Hoth battle scene. You know?
Right, yeah.
Maybe
and they could get some harpoons and tow cables.
Yeah.
And
well, maybe like the neighbor down the street can build the shield generator, and then that would look epic.
Yeah, just film your own Battle of Hoth in your front yard.
In your front yard. Who knew? And then finally, tickets are selling fast despite the hefty price of the Star Wars Secrets of the Empire at Downtown Disney in Anaheim and Disney Springs in Orlando. So have you seen any information about the Star Wars Secrets of the Empire, Armand?
Nope. What is that?
It is a 4-person VR experience where you get to be a stormtrooper.
Oh.
So it's an interactive VR. So basically you put on the headset, you know, you got the VR goggles and all that stuff. And then it's like immersion where you're like walking through a set and you are like fighting the rebellion as stormtroopers. So
that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, tickets cost $30. It went on sale October 11th, and already the first 4 days are completely sold out in Anaheim, which is starting in January 5th, and the first 4 days in Orlando starting December 16th. There's not much left, so they're really surprised that they're selling really quickly, and I think Void is the one that's putting it on, and the Void accommodates groups of 4 people at a time, perfect for friends and families, but tickets for Star Wars Secret of the Empire is selling fast, so we suggest making plans. You can visit www.thevoid.com for booking tickets as soon as possible, says Sarah Marsh, who is the CXO at The Void. So what is CXO? What's a CXO?
I know what a COO is and a CEO.
CEO, but...
Or a CFO, but not CXO. Maybe something about experience, probably.
Experience officer?
Yeah, probably that.
Maybe a extreme officer. I don't know, but she's a CXO, whatever that is. She's from Void. So yeah, if you want to check it out, go to www.thevoid.com to find out more information. I also, you can find it like on YouTube. There's a really cool like little, sizzle reel to get you all stoked for Star Wars Secrets of the Empire. So yeah, so there you have it.
Nice.
That's the news of the week. All right, Cantina Chat. So, Armand, any other Star Wars happenings with you, my friend?
Well, to be honest,
yes.
Since our listeners probably noticed, myself and Rutch have not been on lately.
Yes, we've missed you.
Because we are pretty much trying to be clean and go in not knowing anything about Last Jedi. So we're kind of like doing like a Star Wars fast.
Yeah, you are kind of like a Star Wars sabbatical,
Yeah.
Yeah. And how's that going for you?
It's getting pretty hard.
Yeah, how's that going?
It's hard.
Yeah.
It's getting easier. Like when the trailer dropped, it was pretty hard to avoid it. I've seen some images, and I'm like, oh, okay, can't know anything else.
Right. It's almost impossible in today's age to avoid everything. Basically, you almost have to shut off your phone. You can't look at your phone, to truly be spoiler free. Because like even like like if it's something on TV or something like that, you could either fast forward or you just look away or walk in another room. You're good. But like when it's on your phone and you're checking your Facebook or your Twitter feed or your Instagram feed, and it's like, whoa. Like you have to be very selective of like how you go out through your day, because again, it's not like other people are on sabbaticals. It's just you. You're trying to be a purist. So I commend you on that, my friend. It's a hard thing, but So the whole idea. Can you explain to our listeners why you wanted to do that?
So I pretty much did that with Force Awakens because pretty much I was waiting my entire life for Force Awakens.
Wow.
So I saw ever since I saw Return of the Jedi, I'm like, well, Episode 7, sequel trilogy, and I thought it would never happen, and then it did happen.
It did happen.
Oh boy.
Yes. Yeah.
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 So, the reason why I'm doing it is same thing with Force Awakens. I rather see the surprises in the theater rather than knowing them beforehand. Because it's so much better to be surprised and to go along with the ride and see the film how the filmmakers wanted you to see it.
Instead of knowing somebody telling you that or forcing you to see something that you didn't want to see.
Yeah.
I get it. I totally get it. Yeah.
So, I just want to go into Last Jedi kind of like with a clean slate.
Yep.
Just be like, okay, let's see the events happen before me.
Yes.
And that's why I didn't watch the trailer.
Perfect. Very good. That's awesome. Well, and and you come in, you want to basically have a clean slate and be like, all right, just feed me, and soak it all in.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Pretty much.
Very good.
Yeah, that's why. So with Star Wars happening, it's not a whole lot for me.
Right. Just reading.
I'm reading Game of Thrones.
You're reading Game of Thrones right now?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Very cool.
It's really long.
Yeah.
It's like 70 chapters for each book.
I know. It's crazy.
It's intense.
Maybe they should
How
get.
about you, Todd?
Maybe they should get George R. R. Martin to write a Star Wars book.
Yeah, everyone would die. It'd be great.
It'd be great.
A lot of nudity.
Yeah. By all heroes of. He would destroy all canon. Luke is dead. Okay, guys, and he's gone. Yeah. No. It would be super exciting. But anyways. Here's an idea. Get George R. Martin. I am not doing the sabbatical, obviously, but I am currently reading Bloodlines. Yes, it's by Claudia Gray, and it's about Princess Leia, and it's very good. I'm thoroughly enjoying this book. It's a really good read, and so I'm reading that. I am getting very excited for Halloween, so Trent is going to be a First Order Stormtrooper, and I will be a regular TK Stormtrooper, so I'm super excited. That's basically my Halloween costume for quite some time, so it's a standby. And so it's super exciting, and I'm just looking forward to Halloween and all that goes around with Halloween, and seeing all the cool Star Wars costumes and all the other fun pop culture stuff. So that's what's kind of going on. And again, as I am very excited to looking forward to Last Jedi, and trying to stay away from any future spoilers. So I saw the trailer, saw it probably 3 times, and I'm like, okay, I'm good. I don't want to see. I don't want to overanalyze it, and I just want to keep it even keel, going in. So so there you go.
Nice, very nice.
Armand, you want to wrap this one up for us?
Sure thing. Thanks again for listening to another episode of WSTR Podcast. Once again, check us out on social media at WSTR Media. We want to hear from you, so comment, tweet, rate us on iTunes, email us at wstrpodcast@gmail.com. We would like to introduce a voicemail option too, with 630-557-WSTR, which is 630-557-9787. This way you can leave a voicemail and we can play it on an upcoming podcast. Now you know all the ways to get a hold of us. Next week, we are closing our arc on the Star Wars lore with a review of the Clone Wars episode Voices from Season 6. And now this is podcasting.
There we go.
Yeah.
Thanps for coming on. Yeah. Did that feel good, Armand? After a little sabbatical there?
That felt very good.
Good.